Hi, everybody. My name is Drew Wilson.
Hey, I'm Kavi Harshawat.
I'm Becky Boone.
And we are Team Denver. So, we're here to tell you what our deal is. So we started in Denver by doing a lot of small projects. Our thinking is that by doing a lot of small projects, we can demonstrate the power of open data, because a lot of small projects can have a big impact together. And I want to tell you about two projects that we have done so far. The first one being Cuties in Denver. So it's a Twitter bot that shares pictures of adoptable animals that are in the shelter right now. We started by looking at the government webpage and seeing what it looked like. So if you look at the page right here, I want to linger on this for a second. So Denver's really interesting in that they have a webpage for the animals that are in their shelter, and they do a pretty good job of sharing information about these animals. They've got a picture, they've got a description, it updates over time. You can sort it by lost animals or adoptable animals. Many cities don't have an interface like this. Denver's pretty advanced in this regard. So we were thinking, how could we make something like this better? What's a way that we could improve this process? So we started by scraping the data off of this web page and building an API. So an API is just a way that one piece of software can export its data and share it with another piece of software. It's a really simple way of sharing the guts of an application with another application. So this is what our API looks like. When code goes on a screen, if you're like me, my eyes glaze over and I don't exactly focus on it. But let's look at this for a second because it's really, really simple. There's only 6 pieces of information here. There's a name, which is the name of an animal. This is, can't quite read it. Someone say it for me. Ellsworth. So Ellsworth is a dog that's in the shelter right now. There's a link to a description of him, a picture, a short description, and the date that he entered into the shelter system. Super simple, but this simple API allows us to do something really cool. We can make this Twitter bot. So this is a feed on Twitter that shares a picture of an animal once in a while. This is Steve. He's adoptable right now in the shelter, if any of you are looking for a puppy. Every couple of hours, this shares a picture on social media with a description. And the key thing about this is that it's automated and it's shareable. Not a lot of city data follows that model. It's on a website that you have to go to and see where you fit on that website instead of bringing it to where you are and where you're already socializing. And it's shareable, so you can hit the retweet button. You can tell your friends about it. Right now, the status of the project is it's online and it's tweeting. You can look it up if you'd like on your phone. We're working with a vendor to open up the data in the format that we created so that we can better deploy this in other places or get it to work better in the city of Denver. We heard from a bunch of other cities too after we made this API, from Evanston, Illinois, Austin, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, even Mesa, Arizona, who you'll hear from later, has a Cuties in Mesa Twitter bot now. So this shows that with a simple API, you can really do a lot of big things and deploy it in different cities. Would you want to do it in your city? There's not one in San Francisco, there's not one in Oakland, or any of the cities that you may be connected with. So you can come and talk to us about that. Most of all, though, they're hella cute, and if you subscribe to it, you'll get super cute pictures in your feed. So the other thing I want to tell you about is street sweeping in Denver. So street sweeping is a pretty big pain point for the citizens of Denver. Just a quick poll, how many of y'all have gotten a ticket in the city that you live for street sweeping things? So that's actually kind of a lot of people. So you're like the people in Denver who are really frustrated with this. So what if you got reminders for street sweeping before it happens? What a radical idea, right? Maybe not so much. Maybe it's just an idea that we all think is the way things should work. It's already what we expect would be the case, most of the people in this room. But the reality is pretty different. We're only making an application that solves an obvious problem. It's useful. So let's look at what the city has right now on their website. So again, I want to hover on this for 1 second. You put in your email address and you get this screen. If you look closely, you actually need to know when your street sweeping is before you get a notification of when your street sweeping is. So you have to know that the week of the month, so like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of the month, in order to get the notification. So at best, it's like an alarm clock where you set it and you get a reminder, and at worst, it's a spam bot because you could put in your friend's email address 100 times and they'd get 100 emails from the city of Denver. But nonetheless, 8,000 people signed up for this. 8,000 people went to a computer after getting a ticket, put in their email address, and said, I would like to get a notification. Wait, I have to go outside. So they're really motivated. They sat down, put in their email address, went, what the heck, walked outside, looked at a sign, got the time, walked back inside, put it into the system, and said, send me a notification. 8,000 people did this. If it was a better designed system, we might be able to get more people to do this and get the notification first. So let's fix it. This is how we reimagine it. We start with an address, which is not a part of the current system. You put in your address, and you can see all the street sweeping that's coming up in your area. You can subscribe by calendar, email, text. You can get it where you want it. So you set it and you forget it. You don't have to go back to the website. We're launching it really soon in Denver, and I just want to recap about these 2 projects and what ties them together. So we addressed the obvious problem using open data and APIs, and we put data where people are already communicating. And so you might be wondering, what's next? You all are super smart. You are the leaders in civic tech, and we want to talk to you. We're over there in the corner. You can see our application. This is what we look like. You can come and talk to us. Thanks, everybody.